Hello and welcome to episode 3 of Let's Play Planet Coaster Christmas Wonderland here on Theme Park Worldwide. And I tell you what, it's great to read the comments on the previous 2 episodes, and all of you are really enjoying this series so far. A lot of you saying it's getting you into that early festive spirit. I know it's still quite early for Christmas, but of course this series will continue up until Christmas week and the end of 2020. So it's great that you're all enjoying it so far, and judging by your comments, seems like everyone's really enjoying getting into this series. And I tell you what, you've all come up with some amazing name and storyline ideas for this new dark ride, but there's one that really just stood out to me in particular that I really liked, and that was thanks to YouTube user Tristan Froment, who came up with a brilliant name for this: Charles Chadwick's Chocolate Chase. And as you can see, it says Charles Chadwick Chocolate just on the top there of the factory, and that's what we're going to start working on now with the facade. So whilst I read out the storyline that Tristan's come up with for this, I thought, you know, you can sort of enjoy the facade being finished there. We've got his name, Charles Chadwick, up there in lights on this chocolate factory, this inventor that wants to do his best, but seems like he might have struggled at points in the past, as you're going to find out now by the story. So here we go. Charles Chadwick was a candy and chocolate inventor, but his business became very busy and he almost went bankrupt due to the fact he could not keep up with the supply and demand. Charles wished that he could produce enough confections for the whole world, and by a Christmas miracle, the wafers and chocolates and sweets all began to grow until Charles's factory was overflowing with sweets. He rushed out the candies as quick as he could as they grew minute by minute. On this ride, you'll fly through towering piles of chocolate fingers, wafers, truffles, sweets, and more in Charles Chadwick's Chocolate Chase. What a fantastic story and what a brilliant name. So thanks Tristan for that. I really appreciate it. Like I say, so many awesome names. It was really hard to pick, and I spent a good couple of hours reading through all of your storylines and suggestions. Honestly, you guys are absolutely awesome when it comes to naming the rides that I build here. I give you a bit of a basis, and then you can come up with these amazing stories and ideas, which is absolutely brilliant. So just want to say thank you to all of you. You know, I had a great time just going through them and reading them all. If I could have picked more than one, I would, because they are all fantastic. But of course, there can only be one name for the ride for guests to come and enjoy here at Christmas Wonderland, and that is Charles Chadwick's Chocolate Chase. Bit of a tongue twister, and that's why I like it. He's a bit of a crazy inventor, but he's also very proud, and that's why here on the facade you can see you've got the big letters up there. They're actually from the vintage pack in Planet Coaster. Really like those. You can use them for anything, as I have done here. You know, it's not necessarily a vintage theme, but it fits really nice there on the top with his name in lights. You've got all the windows there that all light up at night, curtains in there in the window. You wouldn't normally have that on a factory, but I thought Charles is very proud. He would actually display a lot of his best chocolates and sweets there in the windows and light them up at night. So I thought, yeah, let's go for some curtains. Let's make it look very grand on the front and not really like a factory that much at all, really, compared to what you would expect. But there we go. Yeah, Charles, he's a very proud guy, and yeah, we've got this really nice facade going on now. Of course, I've pretty much completed the interior in episode 2, so if you've not already seen that, get caught up on the previous 2 episodes in the series so you can see where we're up to now. And this part's coming together really quick, actually. For the 3rd episode, it's coming together nice, and once this dark ride's complete, sort of in the second part of this episode, I'm going to be working on the Santa's Village, which is the next themed area, which is going to be just off to the left there of the chocolate factory. The path's already in place, and that'll connect us down to the entrance as well. And that's going to be a big area that's going to feature all sorts of stuff, including, of course, where you can meet Santa Claus himself. So there we go. The big man, Father Christmas, will be here, of course, at Christmas Wonderland. But I'll talk more about that later on. As you can see, just adding some more details on the front just here. We've got them archways that are quite nice, and I thought, let's have a machine out the front. I've used this same one inside actually, but it's a different colour scheme. I thought, you know what, let's put this out the front. It doesn't really do anything in terms of if this was the real factory. It would just be there on show, but like I say, this guy Charles is very much about putting on this show and everything looking perfect, and that's exactly what he's done out here at the front as well. well. Got some nice barrels there. They'd all be decorated in like gold, and yeah, you know, it'd all be about the presentation out the front of this factory. Of course, with us being in a cold climate, just adding some more snow around as well. You might be thinking, why the monkeys down there? Well, I thought, you know what? Like, he's some crazy inventor. Like, let's put some little animatronic monkeys out the front. You know, just why not? Like, Willy Wonka has his Oompa Loompas. Maybe Charles, he likes his monkeys out the front. I don't know, something like that. The Monkey River. Can you imagine? Oh, I love that film. Tell you what, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory was good, but the original Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, amazing. Like, the original one, absolutely stunning. Like, let me know in the comments, actually, which one did you prefer, the original or was it the remake? For me, it's definitely got to be the original. Absolutely love it. But there we go. Yes, it's coming together now. We've put a little bit of water out the front there, a bit of a frozen iced over lake out the front of this. I didn't want to put anything too tall there because it'll block the view of the really nice facade that I've put together for the dark ride. I thought I don't want to cover that too much. On to final preparations then now, and that is working on the lighting. There's not loads of movement inside this attraction. There's no animatronics or anything like that, but you've got a few bit of moving items, especially when you get into the actual factory room itself. But yeah, I thought let's add some flashing lights in there. Let's make it all seem a bit crazy, and you'll notice that in the soundtrack that I've picked for this as well, because we're going to be riding it in just a couple of minutes time. The finished ride, Charles Chadwick's Chocolate Chase, is going to be coming together. Now, just whilst I'm finishing off these lights, just thought I'd tell you about this big Christmas tree that I've put up at home. So yeah, I've got a 15-foot Christmas tree, and I've bought some brand new lights this year that actually are controlled via an app in my phone. And it's brilliant. Honestly, I've just uploaded a video a couple of days ago over on Adventure Sean, which is my second channel. I'm actually approaching 50,000 subscribers on there. Can't believe it. Like, for a second channel, it's, you know, it's going really well. So I'd love to see you over there. I've been to all sorts of places like New York, covered all the attractions there, Paris, all sorts of stuff that I've done around there, London, and most recently did a big trip to Scotland and climbed up Ben Nevis, the tallest mountain, of course, in the United Kingdom. So yeah, I'd love to see you over on Adventure Sean. I'll put a link down below in this video description that'll take you straight there to that channel. And if you look at the most recent video, at the time of this being uploaded anyway, then of course you'll be able to see me installing this 15-foot Christmas tree with my dad in the garden. It's an artificial tree. It all slots together in 5 pieces, but I tell you what, it comes together beautifully. Anyway, yes, as you can see, the lighting in here looks great. We've got some signage going in as well, and you know what, I think it's about time we had a ride on Charles Chadwick's Chocolate Chase. So are you ready for it? I'll speak to you all in a couple of minutes. Enjoy the music that I've put together for this, and hopefully it really represents what this ride will be like in real life. Well, what do you think to that? Charles Chadwick's Chocolate Chase here at Christmas Wonderland, now fully completed. Really pleased with how that's come together. It's not really a very complex dark ride, especially compared to a lot of them what I've built in the past, but it does exactly what I wanted. Quite a nice short but action-packed adventure through this crazy inventor's chocolate factory. I think the name really summarises exactly what I wanted with that ride, and yeah, I'm very pleased with it. As you're going to find out soon though, not going to be too long until I'm building another dark ride here at Christmas Wonderland. But yes, here we go. Let's start now on the Santa's Village. So there's going to be the two different pathways that are going to connect into this area, and we're going to create like a courtyard style area, but it isn't going to be square. It's going to be more of a rectangle. But yes, as you can see, we've got a nice entrance archway which is going in there right next to the dark ride that we've just built, and then there's also going to be another entrance with the paths already in, just out the bottom here, and these buildings that I'm starting, I'm going to carry on all the way down to the side. So what I'm going for in terms of the building style here is very old English traditional style buildings. That's kind of what I'm going for with this. I'm actually using they're supposed to be for the Bavarian style buildings, German style buildings, what you can do using the World's Fair pack, but you can use them for anything you want. They don't have to be used for a German section. I think they work great as like a British sort of old village sort of style that we go for, with all the wooden beams in there. So that's kind of what I'm using these for. Again, these are going to be covered with garlands and wreaths and all sorts of Christmas decorations to fit with this new area. So what exactly is there going to be in this area? So yes, it's quite a large space what I'm going to be using for this, and like I say, it's going to be a courtyard. The highlight of this area is actually going to be a giant ice rink in the middle, and that's going to be sort of off to the right of where these buildings are now. It's quite hard to imagine it at the moment. You've got to think, you're going to have to use your imagination, and I am building this as well, because an ice rink isn't an option in the game. It's not something you can just pre-install. Guests won't actually be able to use this ice rink. It'll just be there to look pretty, because you can't do a huge Christmas park, in my opinion, without having an ice rink. So that's going to be going in shortly. In this episode, you're going to get to see that. Along with that, of course, you're going to get to meet the big man himself. There's going to be a Santa's house what you're going to go to, which is going to be amazing, and there's also going to be a dark ride in there as well, which is all going to be again straight back to Santa, all about his workshop. So like a Santa's workshop ride, and you're going to get to sit on Santa's sleigh for that one. So yeah, you can probably already guess the ride system I'm going to use for that. That's probably going to be off to the right hand side of this courtyard. The ice rink will be in the middle, and then these are going to be various different food outlets along this side. So yes, it's all going to come together nicely. This is quite a large building that I've put in. Of course, it covers up the facade on the right hand side of the chocolate factory. That, you know, I didn't theme that up. It didn't need to be, because you can't see it now. I've put this in, and of course it completes a circuit, if you like. Now once I've actually completed this area, we're going to open the park. So yeah, I'd imagine it's going to be episode 4, possibly the end of episode 4, or maybe episode 5 when we actually get some guests in the park. Episode 5 will take us halfway through the series as well, a couple of weeks time from now, so we'll have to see on that one. But I'm just going to go back to episode 2 now, and then rides that needed naming in there as well. So we had the Husk Condor, and then we had the ABC Tourbillon that needed naming as well. So firstly, we'll start with the Condor, nice classic flat ride. Adventure Aaron came up with a good name, Festive Flight. Quite a nice simple name, but I thought that'd fit with it really well. So Festive Flight. Again, there were some brilliant name suggestions, even though these are just flat rides. Some great name suggestions and stories as well that you guys have been putting in. So thank you very much for that. It's more about the names than the stories for the flat rides, but it's always nice reading through. Of course, the coasters and the dark rides really want a storyline, but the flat rides, I don't tend to focus too much on the story. But likewise, I do really appreciate all of your comments coming in with your different names for these. But yeah, Festive Flight for the Condor. For the tourbillon from ABC, Daniel Mulrine came up with a great name. It's the Rapper Presentomatic. I thought, you know what, let's go for it. It doesn't really roll off the tongue, but I just really liked it. Like the Rapper Presentomatic. I did state that I'd love to have something to do with wrapping presents. So yeah, what Daniel's come up with there really fits with that, because you look at the ride itself, you know, it's these big boxes that all spin round, and it's like a present being wrapped. That's what I wanted, a name sort of like that. We've got all the presents that are already wrapped underneath the ride as well. So yeah, the Rapper Presentomatic I thought was a very good name, and it kind of fits with the whole factory feel, because of course it's on the same street as where you go round to Charles Chadwick's Chocolate Chase. So yeah, two very interestingly named rides next to each other. You wouldn't fancy trying to pronounce them, would you, after a bit of beer or some mulled wine that you're going to be able to get just round here from in Santa's village. But yeah, back to these buildings that are coming together now. As you can see, we want to make sure that we colour these different to the cold feel that we went with the entrance, and the very bright green and red feel that we had up there in the Candy Cane Lane. This wants to be very different. We're going to keep the red because of course Santa is known for red, but we're also going to bring in some white as well, so with this area, and of course the green garlands fitting on these very old English style buildings that we're putting in just here. But yeah, I'm really pleased with how these look. Actually, I decided to keep the same colour scheme, like the creamy yellowy colour on the back. I was debating turning it to white, but then I thought, no, let's keep that creamy colour. It's a little bit warmer and fits better with the decorations, I think, that are being added onto there as well. I don't think it looks too German, but you know, if it did look German, it doesn't matter too much, because we're not doing countries themed here. We're doing different areas, and guests will be able to make of it what they want to when they walk into this. Lots of different decorations then available in Planet Coaster. We've got these stars, all of them you can change the colours of, which is great. Really glad that they thought of that when they were developing the game. You didn't just have to have the lights in the same colour. Wish they'd thought about it a bit more with the flat rides, really. I just love the option to have with or without lights on the flat rides. Just a nice tick box would be simple. You could just press it, and then it would mean you could have them without lights if you did want to. But still, that's something that might come in the future. I'm sure a lot of you are very excited though now, because of course the console edition came out yesterday, so I'm sure a lot of you are going to be playing Planet Coaster on your console, and hopefully this series will inspire you. You might want to do a Christmas park, you might want to look back in one of my other parks that I've built here on Theme Park Worldwide. There's over 100 Planet Coaster episodes on the channel, so treat yourself if you've just had it on console, and learn all about the game. And yeah, some of the interface might be a little bit different. I've not seen it myself yet. I don't have a console to play it on, and I don't plan on getting one because I don't have enough time to play a console. It's Planet Coaster on a PC for me, and Roller Coaster Tycoon 2, and that's about all I play games wise. You know, I just don't have the time. You don't when you do YouTube across the two channels, Adventure Sean and this. And like I say, you know, I've been putting a lot into both this year, so it's really been busy for me. Not had the time for Planet Coaster, but now we're in lockdown 2.0, it's been an ideal time to crack on with this series, and of course another park. Putting some more snow on the roofs as well, just little bits of snow, like it's melted a little bit. I didn't want to cover every single roof fully in snow, just like little sort of areas where it's started to melt and you can see a little bit through. I've also put these different food outlets in just over here as well, so as you can see, we just got mulled wine going on there. Santa's surprise is on there as well. Just, you know, of course I'm naming these for different things. You can't get mulled wine in the game, so I've just put the sign on there to make it say mulled wine when it doesn't actually serve it, but if it was a real park, of course it would do. But we have got a nice bit of pizza down at the end there as well, bit of pizza and pasta, I've called it, what we've just got down there, and also some bratwurst as well. Love a good bratwurst, lovely. Anyway, as you can see, I'm starting to work now on what is going to be the Ice Rink. Never built one of these before in the game, so it was all about experimenting and putting a few bits together to see. So I thought I'd start off with using these wooden panels to create like a raised up area. So you know, when you go to a temporary ice rink, not one that's permanent, one that, you know, it only comes out really at Christmas, you have like a little platform to stand on normally around the edge, and it'll either be glass panels that you can look through, or there'll be like a plain wall. And I thought, I'm not doing either of them. I could have done glass panels and it would have looked good, but it wouldn't have looked, I wanted this to feel a bit more permanent than that. So what I'm doing is putting wooden panels with a steel gates like on the top, steel fence that'll go all the way around it. And what we're doing here with the building is creating a little area where you can hire your skates and book onto a time slot and all that sort of stuff for this one. So we don't need to worry about the actual surface for this, because I've just flattened the terrain, and we're going to use the snow there to make it, you know, it already looks like the ice rink. We don't need to do anything there. I could possibly put some glass down on top of it to give it a bit more of an ice feel, but I'm going to refrain from that for now. I could look at that in a later date, but I don't think it'll need it, because you're going to see what I'm going to do with decorations shortly. So we've got the edge all round. I then started to put in a wall piece all the way round, and then add these different columns on as well, which of course, if you haven't guessed already, are going to support Christmas lights. Again, it wouldn't be an ice rink without some nice Christmas lights all the way around the side. We've got the fence that's going in just here as well, and that's just making sure that we've got a little bit higher, just so people aren't jumping onto the ice rink from on the path, and people can sort of lean up there, take photos of the family and friends, and just soak up the atmosphere of Christmas Wonderland. Of course, there'd be music pumping out. This would be a real busy area of the park, I'd imagine, with it being the area where you can meet Father Christmas, or you will be able to when the building's done. You've got the ice rink, a big popular attraction. There's going to be a dark ride, and you know what, I'm also feeling like building the first coaster in this park, in this area as well. Like I've said before, it's not going to be a huge park. It's not going to have a heavy focus on big coasters. If you want to see me build some big coasters, check out the other series that I've done here. But I am going to put in a unique coaster, what I've not built before, in this area, family coaster. So yeah, stay tuned for that. That'll be coming up in episode 4 next Wednesday. And just a quick recap, this series, of course, a new episode is released every Wednesday here on Theme Park Worldwide, right up until the final episode, which will be the final Wednesday of 2020. And I tell you what a year it's been. I can't wait for 2021. Fingers crossed we're going to be able to do a bit more traveling, and a bit more like we normally do, a bit more like we used to next year, or at least I hope so. It's been a very difficult year, hasn't it, for all of us, for many reasons as well. You know, there's been a lot going on for us all, so fingers crossed next year is a better one. As you can see, just added some more lights around the side, and also some wreaths on there, and we've got the strands of lights all the way across as well, which I'm really pleased about. Now at this point I thought it looks really good, but we're going to have this sort of courtyard area, and really, with it being such a central area, I thought we need a big Christmas tree. So it was either I make space for it around the side of the ice rink, because I could just put it in front of it, or I put it in the middle of the ice rink. Now, quite a lot of ice rinks for Christmas do have objects in the middle, sometimes a Christmas tree. Winter Wonderland in London, they actually utilise the bandstand, what already exists in Hyde Park. And they actually build the ice rink in a circular sort of fashion all the way around it, which I really like. But yeah, with this, I thought, you know what, let's keep it rectangle, and then we'll also add a Christmas tree in the middle. So you'll see me add that in shortly. Plus, it makes people go in sort of a one way around, doesn't it? That's a big issue with ice rinks, what don't have something in the middle. People are just going everywhere, and at least with this, there's something in the middle for people to go round. We've got the little booking office there. Like I say, you go in there, you get your shoes off and store them in there. Like a little hire area, reservations, all that kind of stuff for booking on to the Christmas Wonderland ice skating rink. So yeah, as you can see, it looked good, but it just needed a little bit more. And you'll see now we start to work on that tree in the middle. I just had a couple of little ones around the side. We had a star up onto the roof there as well. Of course, I just wanted to make that so you could see it from all angles. So I literally just spin another one round now. So there we go. It looks more 3D, isn't it? You can see it from all the different angles then, instead of it just being flat, just a 2D star on there. And there it is, the big Christmas tree in the middle. So yeah, of course, we don't just want the tree standing there on ice. People will be running into it and all sorts. So yeah, we want to make sure it's got the barrier all around it as well. Like I say, at first, I didn't know if it needed that in the middle, but after completing it, I thought, yeah, it needs it in the middle. And then I thought, well, do I keep the light strings going through the tree or do I not? Then I thought, you know what, I'm going to keep them as well. Why not? You know, let's have it all very over the top with the decorations down here in Christmas Wonderland. But yeah, just putting in that barrier all the way around the side. That is pretty much all for episode 3. Hope that you've enjoyed it. Like I say, the part's really coming together. We've done so much in 3 episodes. I think because I've set a limit of 10 for this series, I wanted to try and get as much into an episode as I could do, and that's why the episodes aren't named in terms of I don't say what I'm building in each one, because I'm trying to do multiple things. In previous series I've done just a coaster in one episode and that's it, but with this we've finished that dart ride, we've done the ice rink and this area, and Santa's village is really coming together. So come and join me next Wednesday for another episode here on Theme Park Worldwide. Keep them comments coming in. What are you thinking to the park? What's your favourite so far? I would love to know. In the meantime, there'll be new videos uploaded every day here on Theme Park Worldwide, and go and check out Adventure Shore, my second channel. I'd love to see you all over there. From Christmas Wonderland and Planet Coaster, that leaves me with one more thing to say. Get out there and keep on riding. See you next week.